On May 31st of 2022, I went to see Top Gun Maverick. I don't usually go to see movies in the theater, but something felt different about this. Near the beginning of the film, Pete Mitchell, aka Tom Cruise, is trying to save the Dark Star program. In order to prove to Hammer that the program can go on, the Dark Star has to hit Mach 10.
The contract threshold is Mach 10.
Mach 10 is supposed to be in 2 months. Today's test point is Mach 9.
Well, that's not good enough.
Says who?
Admiral Kane.
The film was able to set this up really quickly and get us into the action, and why am I explaining all of this to you? When I revisited this scene, it didn't feel the same. It was really hard to relive it on a 27-inch monitor. There were different elements that were just missing, and that got me thinking. Whenever someone says that you should watch a movie in a theater, why is that? And as we work on our own films, how can we make a film that has those characteristics? Well, I think I know a good place to start. Everything does look bigger on a big screen. In order to really feel how big a scene is, you have to see it in a theater. There are also films that take you to a world outside of our own, like Dune, Blade Runner, Avatar. In some cases, you might be missing out on more detail if you don't see a film in IMAX, to take advantage of the full aspect ratio. I'd say the mass scale of the stories that Christopher Nolan tells has to be seen in a big screen, pretty obvious. I mean, just imagine watching this on your phone.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Can't compare. I think you knew eventually I would mention this, but Wes Anderson films are the prime example of films that have to be seen in a theater. There's just so much going on in every scene, and there's so many like little details and stuff that's the only way that I watch his films. Even if they all aren't as memorable as the stuff that he's made in the past, this still feels like the right way to watch them. Now, a great camera isn't needed to make a great film. I'm honestly one of those people that believes that you could use almost anything that can capture images, but I mean, it is nice to see these types of shots in like IMAX. Depending on the theater you go to, most films in theaters are shown in either 2K or 4K, so most of you watching already have a camera that suits that need. And if you don't, there are a ton of options out there. For example, you can get the Sony ZV-E10 for like $700 and it does true 4K non-cropped at 24 FPS, which is the standard for film. Like, check out some of these creators. Like 4 or 5 years ago, when I first started college, this sort of quality would only be seen on like a $1,500 camera. But there's more to your film than just the visual aspect. In addition to perceiving objects on a larger scale, one other sensation you can feel in greater depths in a theater is
You feel that?
There's so many films I wish I could have watched in theaters for the first time. This is probably one of the biggest ones. Imagine hearing this scene with echoes, and you can feel the floor vibrate.
Dr. Grant.
In more recent times, I can name a few moments in the theater when I had this feeling. Some very recent times. As of recording this part of the video a few hours ago, I just saw F1 in IMAX. Guys, it's pitch black right now and I can't see anything. This thing has to be a really good example of a film that has to be seen on a big screen. I noticed that the POV shots in particular really took me in. The quick editing, the POV shots, and the sound all came together, and this is what we got. You could feel that energy, that tension from everyone, and we were all sharing that same like feeling in every scene. There was also one scene in particular that I don't want to spoil, but there's no sound in it, but like it was so loud, I can't explain it. So instead, I'm gonna talk about this scene. So in Oppenheimer, when they're about to test the first atomic bomb blast, this music starts playing and it's super loud. It's all building up to the explosion, and then nothing. The audience just being speechless really added to the scene. I was in a packed theater, and despite the theater being silent, this scene feels so loud. And similarly in Top Gun Maverick, from the people watching around you. Even though, again, the theater was silent,
Come on, sweetheart, just a little more. Just a little.
you could feel everyone on the edge of their seat.
Come on.
thanks to sound design and the atmosphere and echoes of the theater. And I think when the plane hit Mach 10, I heard people cheering, like in real life, in the theater. Like, guys, we didn't do anything. But speaking of all of this does take us to another important part of the viewing experience. Going to a theater doesn't just provide a bigger visual and auditory experience, but it also adds something else. The audience. The audience is one thing that is hard to replicate at home. There's some kind of energy in a packed room that you simply can't replicate at home, even if you're watching with friends and family. Whether the scene is comedic,
We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you, I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter. I think all that lethal weapon.
or during emotional moments.
Steve?
Oh my god!
What? No!
This is no place to die.
No! No, 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 no.
I don't feel so good.
You're alright.
I don't know what's happening.
The audience becomes a part of the storytelling experience. It's sort of like going to a concert compared to listening to music on your own. Watching a film with others is just better, sometimes. But when you're seated with a good audience, movie theaters offer a moment for us to witness something for the very first time together. Many scenes that we've watched at home or caught in rescreens were once seen live, with audiences reacting in real time, not knowing what would happen next. Now, due to me not being that old, I can't speak on what it was like seeing some of the most iconic scenes in film history, but again, for some of the more recent stuff, I can say that hearing and feeling the reactions of those around me and my own visual and emotional reactions has left a lasting impact on me. Almost like when you go on vacation or whatever and you like create memories and stuff with others. Yeah. So if you're able to focus on a captivating story, larger than life visuals, immersive sound design, and audience participation, you'll probably have a film that can only truly be experienced on the big screen.